Today, I'm going to show you guys how to make a timer accurate to the milliseconds in Wubby. Alright, first step is you're going to get a prompt block from the input section right here. Space it down. Start off toggleable also. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to press get game property from the logic section. I'm going to set it to tick right here. Connect these two. You get a variable block from here. So we're gonna name this variable block original time. And I'll explain like all this stuff later. So just connect this. Should go like this. Alright. I'll just get a repeater right here. So we'll set the active time to 0. And we'll set the delay to 0.001. Or depending on like how accurate you want the timer to be. You want it to be like I want mine to be to the millisecond, so I'm gonna put it as millisecond. Connect this. Get another get game property. Set it to tick. Right here. And we'll make another variable called current. Then connect this. So basically, tick is the amount of time that's passed since January 1st of 1970. And the reason why this is so useful, we can get a certain time from tick, and then like as like the repeater go, we can update this value, subtract this value right here by the original time to get an accurate amount about how much time passed by since we like started the input. So that's the reason for tick and all this stuff. All right, let's get started on other stuff. So we need a math gate right here. It should be, input. Make sure it's subtract, and we subtract it by original. Make sure original time is a global variable. I forgot to say that. All right. And now, I'm going to explain what all this is. So do this. Set this one to divide. 60. We go to modulus. Set this to 60. Set this to modulus. Set this to 1. Okay. And then wire this all up. That's what it should look like right now. So I'm going to try to explain modulus as best I can. So it's basically like the remainder of the division equation. So for example, 20 divided by 60, like if you use modulus, it would come out as 20 because 20 is the remainder of 60. And the reason why we put 60 as our value is because there's 60 seconds in a minute. So the remainder will never be higher than 60. So this is a great way to get like the amount of seconds, because say for example, 25 seconds has passed. You can do 25 divided by 60 and the remainder would be 25. So you can accurately get 25 seconds. You can also do this if the value is greater than 60. So for example, 110 divided by 60, the remainder would still be 50. So you can still get an accurate amount of seconds using modulus. Yeah. All right. So now you want to add a math gate right here, here, and here. Make sure this is floor and set the value to input. Set this to floor. This input. And set this to multiply. And do 1000. Connect all 3 of these. So the reason why we floor this down is because you don't want a decimal as like your minutes or a decimal for your seconds, because it's already handled by this. So like if 10 seconds pass, you do 10 divided by 60, that's 10 seconds is not greater than a minute. So we're just going to round this down, round down the minutes to 0 so it displays accurately. Also, like say like 80 seconds pass, you know that at least 1 minute has passed if 80 seconds have passed, but it's not greater than 2 minutes, so it's automatically going to round down to 1 minute. So yeah, we do the same for seconds, so we don't get a decimal amount either. And the reason why we multiply this by 1000 is because, for example, like 1000.5 divided by 1. the remainder of that would be 0.5. And like, since we want this to be a whole number, we're gonna multiply it by like how accurately you want the milliseconds to be displayed. So if you want like 2 decimal values, you would multiply it by 100. If you wanted 1 decimal value, you would divide it by multiply it by 10. If you wanted 3, you would multiply it by 1,000. So yeah, and we're also gonna floor it too. Make this is input, connect this, and now we're gonna do this. I'll explain what this means. Make sure you add variables. This is going to be our minutes. So we're going to name the variable M for minutes. This is S for seconds. And then MS for milliseconds is for this. Make sure your stuff's not tagged so it doesn't bug. Okay. I'll just edit it later. I'll try one more time. Okay, alright. And then I'm going to do this. Make sure it's set to S, and then put 0 S. I'm going to explain what this means. Okay. And text editing. Alright. Make sure you connect all of this. So all these 3 variables right here, they should be connected to this, and then this right here should be connected to this. Alright, so basically we're storing all of our data from these math. We're storing them in variables so we can combine them in this. Okay, so we store our minutes in this variable, we store our seconds in this variable, and we store our milliseconds in this variable. And the reason why these 2 things are here, it's like, because normally, if you don't add these, your timers are gonna show up like this. Like it's gonna show up like this, which is like really unnatural. Because like when you're looking at a timer IRL, there's usually two spots per seconds. So like kind of like this. Yeah, something like this. Like that's just more natural. So we gotta detect if like the seconds is under 10, because if it's under 10, we need to add a placeholder. So I messed up something. Edit this to be smaller than, and edit this to be bigger or equal. Make sure you fix this. I didn't fix that. Okay. And then, so basically if it's under 10, we're going to add like a placeholder 0 right here. Oh, I also forgot to add the backslash. So make sure your backslash is here too. So it should be a backslash 0 squiggly bracket S squiggly bracket. And then make sure, and if it's bigger than 10, we don't have to do anything with it, so we'll just put it in here. And now I'm gonna put squiggly bracket M squiggly bracket colon S with the period MS. All right, perfect. And now we're gonna add a property changer because we want to display our seconds. All right, so now you want to add your text block right here. Text, property name, your destination, because you want to modify this block. Your text property should be input. Let's see if it's working. No, it's tagging. Oh, I know why. Because I forgot to set this to normal. And now it's working. There we go. We can also modify this. We want it to be accurate just to 1 decimal value, 1 decimal place. There we go. Want to make it 2. Yep. And yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching.